Hey guys, Long Couch here. Welcome back to Let's Play The Witness. Okay, this puzzle is a real bastard. I wanted to bring you guys in right now. So what I've managed to figure out so far is that you can draw a blue line, obviously you can see what I drew here, in such a way that it lets you come back to this side and then draw an orange line that kind of leads back into itself. And when you finish both those lines down at the bottom here, it actually seems to have opened the door to the way forward. Now, I'm guessing that because we can draw this line and block off these two stars, that will now allow me to draw the blue line in such a way that I can end it over here and lead to the exit while still satisfying all the rules of the puzzle. I'm hoping it's that simple. I don't know. We're going to find out, I guess, in a second. That's the good news, is that after a lot of floundering around and trying different shit, I've managed to make at least a little bit of progress on this bitch. This is like maybe the most complicated puzzle in the game so far. I don't even know. I don't even know how to qualify that anymore. The bad news is that I may have screwed myself over in such a way that the game didn't intend to be possible. You guys may remember, I noticed when I was, dicking around this area in the last video, there was a panel over there that I didn't think I could reach. Well, in my exasperation, I tried to reach it again, and this time I actually got it, and I activated it, and it turns out it's an elevator that got sent down to the bottom. You can just barely see it at the bottom of the screen there. The problem is that I wasn't on the elevator when it got activated, so I'm not sure, even if I get to this part, if that's gonna if I'm gonna be able to continue. I may have just dicked myself over. I'm not sure that you're supposed to be able to do that. I also noticed that there is what appears to be a Triforce panel right there beneath the stairs. There's I can't even really tell if that's it, and there's no way I can reach it from here. But at least that I now know that it's there. So that's some small modicum of victory, I guess. And the last thing that I found while I was dicking around this area is a recorder tucked behind this this wall panel right here. So we'll go ahead and listen to that while I continue to fiddle with this puzzle.
You see, a motif is this. He put his hands together, drew them apart, the 10 fingers open, then slowly, very slowly, brought them together again, clasped them, squeezed them tightly, meshing them. That's what one should try to achieve. If one hand is held too high or too low, it won't work. Not a single link should be too slack, leaving a hole through which the emotion, the light, the truth can escape. You must understand that I work on the whole canvas, on everything at once. With one impulse, with undivided faith, I approach all the scattered bits and pieces. Everything we see falls apart, vanishes, doesn't it? Nature is always the same, but nothing in her that appears to us lasts. Our art must render the thrill of her permanence along with her elements, the appearance of all her changes. It must give us a taste of her eternity. What is there underneath? Maybe nothing. Maybe everything. Everything, you understand? So I bring together her wandering hands. I take something at right, something at left, here, there, everywhere. Her tones, her colors, her nuances. I set them down, I bring them together. They form lines, they become objects, rocks, trees, without my planning. They take on volume, value. If these volumes, these values, correspond on my canvas, in my sensibility, to the planes, to the spots which are there before our eyes, then my canvas has brought its hands together. It does not waver. The hands have been joined neither too high nor too low. My canvas is true, compact, full. But if there is the slightest distraction, if I fail just a little bit, above all, if I interpret too much one day, if today I am carried away by a theory which runs counter to that of yesterday, if I think while I paint, if I meddle, whoosh, everything goes to pieces. Paul Cézanne, as related by Joaquim Gasquet, 1921.
Well, that was just excellent timing, wasn't it? And yeah, it figures that these paths that we're drawing here would be environmental puzzles because they pulled the same kind of trick with the castle mazes, as you may recall. So we will try and do those as we move forward too. So yeah, I guess we're actually we seem to have solved this one satisfactorily, I think. It's going to be a pain in the ass going back if we want to do that. Or maybe not. This is the side that we go back. Oh, so never mind. We don't ever have to go over there again. I don't think. God, I hope not. So here's... Oh, it's coming back up. Oh, thank you. Thank you, game. You gloriously designed game. That's beautiful. I really was honestly terrified that I had dicked myself over. And found some kind of game-ending glitch. Because that would just be my luck, wouldn't it? Alright, wow, this is, like, actually complicated. How does this work? And also, maybe, yeah. Maybe I should do this while I'm here. Still don't know that. Still don't know why that works. That's just one large grid, one large block, rather, with two triangles in it. What happens if I go this way? I'm guessing it won't work the other direction. God damn it. Get on it. There we go. It totally does. You can go either way. Alright. Well, whatever. Hey, let's try some of these combinations. What happens if we start from down here? It probably doesn't do anything, right? Is that an invisible gem right in the middle? It wasn't invisible. I just didn't notice it. Wow, really? What the hell? Okay, so it lets us complete the puzzle up that way, but it doesn't move. I guess we can only go down from here. We can't go up. Alright, we're heading down. We're keeping that progress going, guys. I'm still befuddled by the fact that I didn't notice that. I guess because I already had the line filled in, so I didn't really get a chance to look at the unfilled line. That'll be my excuse anyway. God, this stuff has been so crazy hard, guys. I don't even know what's going to be waiting for us on the next floor. It's probably going to be something just ridiculous. So far, I've still been able to keep my update schedule, but that might change real soon. I'm just going to keep giving you those disclaimers, guys. Okay. Let me take a look around this bottom shaft here. The only reason I found all the stuff that I showed you so far, besides the main puzzle, is because I got so exasperated with that puzzle that I just started, you know, looking around at other things. I found the recorder, I found the elevator shaft, I found the fact that you could trace that puzzle up there. Oh, which reminds me, I should probably do this. Okay. Where are these going, by the way? The sparklies... I guess they're going back up top. That's kind of funny. It looks like they flew into the elevator shaft and then went up, like they're beholden to the rules of the elevator as well. What sucks is that I don't think I can trace the this yellow line here because it doesn't look like I can see the ending of it. Yeah, you got to be able to see that curved ending. I wonder if I'm going to have to retrace that line in a different way just to be able to solve that. What a pain in the dick. Okay. Now, here we've got Tetris puzzles. At first glance, these don't look overly difficult. They're throwing in the triads, which always screws me up. I gotta remember how the rules relate with these guys. Let's see, they can cancel out one piece. And they would have to be sectioned off with the piece that they're being canceled out, right? So this should solve this. Okay. Lights up part of the floor. Hold on. I've got another elevator shaft here. It's a little caved in, it looks like. Can I walk in here? No. I can see something that looks interesting right down there. But I can't reach it yet. Ah, I see you!
Looked at on the astronomical timescale, humanity is at the very beginning of its existence. A newborn babe, with all the unexplored potentialities of babyhood. And until the last few moments, its interest has been centered absolutely and exclusively on its cradle and feeding bottle. It has just become conscious of the vast world existing outside itself and its cradle. It is learning to focus its eyes on distant objects, and its awakening brain is beginning to wonder, in a vague, dreamy way, what they are and what purpose they serve. Its interest in this external world is not much developed yet, so that the main part of its faculties is still engrossed with the cradle and feeding bottle, but a little corner of its brain is beginning to wonder. James Jeans, 1928.
That was a pretty cool quote. That kind of reminds me of that Carl Sagan quote. I think it was in Cosmos when he talked about how, like, if the entire history of the Earth was put on, like, a cosmic calendar spanning 1 year, so, like, you know, January 1st at midnight to December 31st at midnight, apparently humans only appeared in, like, the last 4 seconds of the last day of the Earth's calendar, which is pretty nuts. Okay, what the hell is going on here? We solved all the Tetris puzzles. That's too easy, though. I don't buy it. There's something else is at play here. So this activated this whole floor, which is now a puzzle, clearly. Looks like a mirror puzzle, or a symmetry puzzle, I guess is the technical term. So I'm guessing if I do this and go this way, yep. Now the question is, how the hell does this relate to what I just did? Okay, we canceled out one shape on each board. We're left with 4 shapes that are active. Is it something like combining all these shapes into one thing? And doing it with a fucking symmetry puzzle? That's just ridiculously difficult in its execution. I don't know, like, what other rules are in play here as far as, like, do you have to stick to the same side? Like, these 2 pieces here, are they going to be on the left side? Can you mix and match them? You could probably mix and match them. Well, shit, let's see what we got. We've got a 1x3. Got a little 3-blocker corner piece. A tilted L. And another 3-blocker corner. Fuck. So what we probably want to do here is try to combine these in such a way that they make easy shapes. Of course, I don't think I've ever done a Tetris puzzle with symmetry lines. How the hell is that even gonna work? They have to mirror each other. So you kind of want to make, like... You probably want to try and keep it like a simple shape. Oh look, when I solve that, these blink red. Yeah, so it is totally using these pieces. We're basically transferring the shape of these pieces to the board on the floor. So what we want to do is figure out like 2 easy shapes we can make. Like, for example, this would be like a 3 blocker and a 2x2 4 blocker. Or a 3 blocker and then like a 3-piece corner blocker like that. Can we make 2 of those? No, because that has 2 four pieces on it. 4 blockers, whatever we want to call them. Okay, that's the corner pieces. We could make a 3 blocker here. A 3 blocker and a corner blocker. Another corner blocker. But then this one has to be an L shape. So... if I'm intuiting this correctly, unless we can do some crazy shit with these shapes, they're gonna have to be the same amount of blocks on both sides. We can't, like... I don't think we can, like, crisscross them and do any crazy shit to make them unsymmetrical. So 4... and then we have a choice between 3 and 4, so this one has to be either 7 or 8 pieces. That has to be 3. This one also can be either 7 or 8. Damn it. I was hoping that would give me some kind of clue about how that was going to work. But it doesn't. I'm going to have to suss it out on my own. The fact that this one has to be an L shape really sucks. Trying to think, how can we take these and combine them into one shape that looks the same? That's the whole trick. Okay, let's just start with the assumption that there'll be 7 blocks apiece. That means we'll use the 3 blocker and that, trying to imagine how the ways that can combine in my head. It would be like... that one would like sit in the corner. And it would kind of look like... it would go up 4 and come back like that. Right? It doesn't like either of those because this is horizontal, so we have to take that into account too. In which case, maybe we don't want to use this one because the fact that it's horizontal means it's going to jut off onto this side of the board. But also, we could just be required to combine the shapes into one big shape, in which case... oh, God, I just realized that's probably what they want me to do. I'm trying to section them off neatly in my head, but in reality, they're probably going to be combined into one big shape. And that is a tall, tall order, guys. The tallest of the orders. Oh, thank God that is over. Fucking God. Guys, I'm gonna go stab myself in the eyeballs. This is the worst fucking puzzle. This is so... It's an hour later, okay? Like, literally an hour. This is the same solution that I tried a million different times. I just had, like, one of these orientations wrong, one of these boards wrong. I actually was trying this for quite a while, and then I stopped at some point because I was convinced it was wrong, and started trying other solutions, like other shapes to make, and none of that shit worked. So, okay, here's... I'll try and give you a general outline of how I got to this point. So, you guys know that with the Tetris puzzles, I like to try to count the blocks, right? Because I think that's a good strategy. If you can figure out how many blocks you're going to need, that can help you form the shape, even if you can't necessarily put the shapes together in your head. Using that knowledge, I kind of worked backwards a little bit, figuring out that this thing was either going to be, I think it was either 13 or 15 blocks. I can't remember the numbers now, but basically what happened was that I looked at all these boards and I figured out, well, these three here, this guy, and this guy, could be solved either way. Both of the pieces were usable. This one, I couldn't figure out how to solve it with this guy being the chosen piece. You can barely see it now, but it's a 4-block L-shaped thing. So I was like, well, let's just assume that you can't actually solve it that way. It's possible that you can, and I just couldn't figure it out. But if you use that assumption, then you know that this piece here, this block here is 3 and 3. It has to be 3. This one here is 4 and 4. It has to be 4. And then this one can be either 3 or 4. So depending on which one you pick, it's either going to be an even number or an odd number. For the longest time, I was making it the 2x2 shape for the 4-blocker, because in my head, I was like, oh, it's a symmetry puzzle, it's going to be an even number. Stupid assumption. In my head, I don't even fully understand why it works out this way, but eventually I started counting the blocks on the overall solution, and I realized it was always an odd number. No matter what kind of pattern I made to finish out the solution, it turned out to be an odd number. And I was like, well, fuck me. Okay, I guess this actually needs to be the 3-shape one then, because that makes it 13 blocks total. Otherwise, it was going to be 14. So, that in itself took like a half hour, and then I was like, okay, well, I think I have all the shapes down that these need to be, so I started trying to put them together in my head, and I came up with a couple different things. Like I said, I was trying this shape like multiple times, and it didn't work because I think I had like the wrong one selected, or I had like this L, I had the wrong one selected. I had like this one lit up, and then up here I had the other 3-blocker lit up, and it was just, it's bad, guys. I'm rambling now. I know, I'm sorry. You want to see what the hell's is ahead of here, and so do I. I just want to say one last time, fuck this puzzle. If there's anything else like this, I'm uninstalling this game, I'm deleting my save file, and I'm getting my brain rearranged so that I can't remember any of this. Okay, so what is going on here? There's a little dude drawing on a thing with a light and some weird hellish red landscape on the sides. Oh god, I'm so tired. My eyeballs hurt so much after all that. I'm gonna soldier on as much as I can, but I'm real fucked up right now, guys. Look, he's got little Tetris blocks and stars, and this is the guy who makes the puzzles. Is this Jonathan Blow? I don't know what Jonathan Blow looks like, but I wonder if that's supposed to be a statue of him. That's pretty cool if that's the case.